when you think of transformation, it's not an evolution that has an ending. I mean, the CISO role is going to continue to evolve. The security threats are going to continue to evolve. So we have to evolve as well. So I hope we never get to a point where we think we've solved this, because I think if we do, then we're just blind. From what I'm looking at from a transformation perspective, I've been in security for 25 years, and there was a time we talked about just throwing bodies at the problem, just throw more bodies at the problem. But with 3 million, I think the last stat I saw was like a 3 million person shortage in the cyber industry. It's just not an option. You can't throw bodies at a problem when you don't have the bodies to do that. So we have to look at how we get better at modernizing the technology that we use. So what we're looking at here is a lot of automation. So, and I think it's interesting, we talk a lot about technical debt and how that, especially for those bigger companies, I don't have the luxury of being that newer company that's all cloud native. I do have a lot of older infrastructure. And I think about technical debt, but I also think the security team is starting to carry some technical debt. Some of that is how they service, how they process, how they do certain things. And we have to kind of pull that up and automate a ton of that. There's just no other way. If I don't automate this, there's no other way that I can get ahead of the risks that I have. And secondarily, as I do that, it allows the resources I have to come up from a skills perspective, from a knowledge perspective. They get to do more exciting things, get involved in more new technologies and things like that. But that will never happen if I don't start modernizing that stack and get them the ability to do that, so they're not having to deal with, back to Karthik's point, they're not having to manage these old legacy monoliths, these old systems, managing all these rule sets. I mean, I remember my team 10 years ago, some of the rules they had built in Splunk were just absolutely, I mean, from a nerd perspective, they were super cool. But as you think of how we progress today with the volumes of data and the numbers of tools that we have, how they do like basic detection engineering, it's just not the same anymore. And so how we look at that and how we automate that and how we make their job easier is just so incredibly important.